Trash talk is part of football, but every once in a while, a single comment cuts deeper than the usual post-game noise. Just 2 days after a heated on-field exchange, a Carolina Panthers cornerback has lit a match under an already tense NFC South rivalry, accusing Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback Baker Mayfield of arrogance and saying he carries himself like Brett Favre. In a season slipping away from Tampa Bay, those words didn't just spark headlines, they exposed frustration, pride, and a team fighting to hold onto its playoff identity. This is NFL Snapwire. Let's get straight into it. Sunday's matchup between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Carolina Panthers wasn't just another divisional game. It felt personal. Tampa Bay entered the contest desperately needing a win to stop a 3-game skid and keep pace in the NFC South. Carolina, meanwhile, was playing with confidence, momentum, and something to prove. When the final whistle blew, it was the Panthers who walked off with a gritty 23-20 victory, a result that shook up the division standings and pushed the Buccaneers closer to the brink. But the real fireworks didn't end on the field. They started at the podium. During his post-game press conference, Panthers cornerback Mike Jackson didn't sugarcoat anything. Asked about his interactions with Baker Mayfield during the game, Jackson leaned forward and delivered a quote that immediately went viral. "He carries himself like Brett Favre," Jackson said, his tone sharp and deliberate. That single line did more than compare Mayfield to a Hall of Fame quarterback. It implied arrogance. Swagger without the resume. Confidence bordering on entitlement. And coming from a defensive back who had just beaten him. That made it sting even more. Throughout the game, cameras caught multiple verbal exchanges between Baker Mayfield and Panthers defenders. Nothing unusual by NFL standards, but according to Mike Jackson, this wasn't standard trash talk. Jackson revealed that Mayfield was chirping early and often, projecting an aura of superiority that rubbed the Panthers' defense the wrong way. For Carolina, that attitude became fuel. The Panthers' defense tightened in key moments, forcing Mayfield into uncomfortable throws and limiting Tampa Bay's offensive rhythm. Statistically, Mayfield's performance wasn't disastrous, but it wasn't dominant either. He finished the game completing 18 of 26 passes for 145 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 costly interception. On the other sideline, Bryce Young delivered one of his more composed performances of the season. The young Panthers quarterback went 21 of 31 for 191 yards and 2 touchdowns, showing patience, poise, and control, qualities Carolina fans have been waiting to see consistently. In a game decided by just 3 points, those differences mattered. At first glance, comparing a quarterback to Brett Favre might sound like praise. After all, Favre is a Super Bowl champion, MVP, and one of the most iconic gunslingers in NFL history. But context is everything. Mike Jackson wasn't applauding Mayfield's playmaking. He was calling out his demeanor. Favre, especially late in his career, carried himself with supreme confidence, sometimes bordering on recklessness. He had to resume to back it up. Baker Mayfield, at least in Jackson's eyes, hasn't earned that same authority. The implication was clear: Mayfield talks like an all-time great, but the results don't always match the attitude. And after a loss that damaged Tampa Bay's playoff hopes, that criticism landed hard. This loss wasn't just another mark in the L column. It was symbolic. The Buccaneers are now 7-8, sitting second in the NFC South behind the Panthers, and riding a 3-game losing streak at the worst possible time. Even more alarming, they have just 1 win in their last 7 games after starting the season strong. That early momentum? Gone. The confidence? Shaken. The margin for error? Almost non-existent. Tampa Bay's offense, once praised for its balance and efficiency, has struggled to finish drives. Explosive plays have become rare. Close games are slipping away. And when frustration builds, personalities clash. 2 days after the loss and the public criticism, Baker Mayfield stepped up to the microphone during Tuesday's press conference. Predictably, he didn't back down. Mayfield made it clear that despite the setbacks, he still believes the Buccaneers can make the postseason. "We're still confident," Mayfield said. Nobody in that locker room is giving up. We know what we're capable of. That confidence is part of what has defined Mayfield throughout his career, for better or worse. It's the same edge that made him a Heisman Trophy winner. The same fire that helped him resurrect his career after bouncing between teams. And the same personality that now has opposing defenders calling him arrogant. Mayfield isn't just another quarterback trying to prove himself anymore. In 2024, he signed a 3-year extension worth up to $100 million, a deal that signaled Tampa Bay's belief in him as their long-term answer under center. Since joining the Buccaneers, Mayfield has helped lead the team to the playoffs in both seasons he's been there. This year, statistically, he's been solid. 3,144 passing yards. 23 passing touchdowns. Those numbers tell a story of productivity, but not dominance. In today's NFL, quarterbacks with 9-figure contracts are expected to elevate teams during adversity. They're expected to close games. They're expected to silence critics with results. Right now, Mayfield is talking like a franchise quarterback, but the Buccaneers aren't playing like contenders. Mike Jackson's comments weren't just trash talk. They were a snapshot of how Baker Mayfield is viewed around the league. To some, he's a gritty competitor with swagger and resilience. To others, he's a quarterback whose confidence sometimes outpaces his accomplishments. And in a league where respect is earned weekly, perception can become reality. If Tampa Bay misses the playoffs after such a promising start, those criticisms will only grow louder. The Buccaneers don't have time to dwell on words or wounded pride. The next challenge comes quickly, a road matchup against the Miami Dolphins on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Miami's speed, offensive firepower, and aggressive defense will test Tampa Bay in every phase of the game. For Baker Mayfield, it's more than just another start. It's a chance to respond. Not with words, but with performance. A strong showing could quiet critics and restore belief. Another loss could turn confidence into controversy and swagger into scrutiny. Football is emotional. It's raw. It's personal. When Mike Jackson accused Baker Mayfield of carrying himself like Brett Favre, he wasn't just throwing shade. He was challenging Mayfield to live up to the image he projects. Now the question is simple. Will Baker Mayfield back up his confidence when it matters most? Or will this season become another chapter in the ongoing debate about who he really is as a quarterback? The answer starts this Sunday. That's it for NFL Snapwire. If you want sharp takes, real locker room stories, and everything breaking around the league, make sure you stay locked in right here. We'll see you next time.